So, Sean, how do you feel about these young men out here at an early age having kids, or even at any age for that matter, and not taking care of their responsibilities as fathers and stepping up to the plate?
I think my answer is going to be twofold, and I'm going to address each group separately. If we're talking about the younger men, and I'm thinking like teenagers, I have to think back to when I was a teenager and my level of responsibility and the things that I was prepared to handle and wasn't prepared to handle, and I have to cut them some slack just because at that age I didn't know better. I didn't know, and when we're talking about being in someone's life, the indirect impact that it has. Like, it's not something that you see as soon as it happens. It's not something that happens that you see right away. You don't see the effect of that till further down the line. And so it takes a certain mindset to be able to recognize future results from current action. So some of them just don't have that. They honestly don't have that. As far as the second group, and that's the men who are older and men who have that but still don't do right by their children, I just wonder how. Like, how can you do that? And I don't mean that in a condescending way. I mean that as I cannot imagine not being a part of my children's lives. I can't. I literally, I think the longest I've gone without seeing my children is like 7 days. The longest I've gone without speaking to them has to be like 2 or 3 days. And so I just can't imagine how someone cannot feel that way about something that they helped create. Because it just doesn't register with me. So that's my biggest question, is like, how do you do that? How do you just dismiss them like that? And I just don't understand it. And that, once again, not even being judgmental in that question, I'm just honestly curious as to how does that feel? How are you able to turn that off when it comes to your children, to where you can go 6 months without talking to them, or you can know that they're in need of something, but your priorities lie elsewhere? And that's just something that I don't understand.
So you became a father at 22. What was your initial reaction when you found out you was going to be a dad?
I was excited. God really works, because actually I prayed for him. I asked God to give me a baby, and I asked him to give me a baby boy, and I asked him to look the way that my son looks. I actually prayed for him, and I asked him for him, and I got him, I received him. So I was excited. I was just like, wow, look at God's work. If you pray, if you ask, he will give it to you. Very excited to help bring in a life and to mold it and to develop a person. I had and have a big responsibility on my hands. And me, the person I am, I'm always ready for big challenges and responsibilities. So I loved it, man.
All right. Sean, this is your first son, correct?
Yes, that I know of.
Laughing. Supposed to laugh, it's a joke.
Yeah. I'm serious.
How did you feel the first time you found out you was going to be a father?
At first, it was like a Kevin Hart moment, like, no, I wasn't ready. But it's like, really this soon? Because I had just gotten married, and it's like literally that whole honeymoon. So I was like, we haven't even got situated as a husband and wife yet, and then this came in. So it's like, I just had to jump into just a family mode instead of a husband and wife mode, basically.
So were you afraid of that challenge, or did you step up into it?
Oh yeah, I stepped up to it. But it was kind of nerve-wracking, like trying to figure out like, how am I going to raise this boy? Well, before I even found out it was a boy, but how was I going to raise this child, or what am I going to do to provide for this child, basically.